like, you need to start a business.
She literally went from the floor to the penthouse.
I want to try to be as nice as possible.
No, just be you.
Explaining this.
Just be you. Welcome to the next Conversations with Brent. Today, I would like to introduce you to my friend, a mentor, a little sister, Markela. We call her Kela Taylor. What's going on?
Everything. How are you?
You always got something going on.
It's so funny to hear you say that I'm your mentor when you're my mentor.
Hey, we can learn from each other.
And we do.
And so...
And we have.
And always will.
Yes.
The thing I love about Kela is, I remember when you first moved to Atlanta from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything.
Anything.
You slept on the floor. You made pallets. She literally went from the floor to the penthouse. Because that's where you live now.
I met you on my 21st birthday.
It sure was. You had your Mustang.
Yeah, I think I had my little purple Barney Neon.
Yeah, you did. That's right. And
I didn't have nothing.
Hey, but you got a lot going on now, and that's awesome. So, when I first met you, you were doing some modeling.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then I think, let's talk about your journey from working in an insurance company to owning an insurance company first.
Okay.
So how'd that come about?
So I tell people that I didn't even choose insurance.
Right.
It was just something that I kind of fell into up in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I was looking for a job, and I saw this big, pretty building on Winton Road and Mack Road. Okay. Which is Cincinnati Financial.
Right.
And I was just out looking for a job, and I was like, okay, that building looks nice, and I just went in there and filled out an application. Was not expecting a call back. So this was back when we had caller ID boxes. I got home one day and I saw it was like Sin Fin on the caller ID box. Right. And I called the number back and they called me in for an interview. So that's how I landed. That's how I got into insurance. I was a file clerk, which was like 2 levels below ground.
They say you wasn't even on ground. You was
below the basement.
Right.
Kind of worked my way up in the company. Made it to the 8th floor.
Okay.
They had 9 floors total. Made it to the 8th floor, but I just felt like even that wasn't enough for me.
Right.
Cincinnati, love home. I'll never forget where I came from, but I needed more.
Right.
And I found more. Well, I felt like I could get more down here in Atlanta. Wanted to, broaden my horizons with the modeling. Right. And just wanted to chase that dream, So I felt like Atlanta could get me there in a sense. And got me an insurance job down here in Marietta. Mm-hmm. Gave her 4.5 years. Life happened. I could sit here and give you that whole story, talk your head off, but life happened, tragedy. My dad, he was facing that double life sentence in prison, and that led me to entrepreneurship, and I started my own insurance company.
And haven't stopped since.
Haven't stopped since.
So we're gonna dig into a little more of her businesses, but let's just recap some of the things you have. So you have insurance.
Yes.
You have Universal Salon Suites.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You have
the marquee venue, which was the added bonus.
Yes.
We had Greeners Investments, which was the venture capital firm.
Okay.
Dissolved that. What do we
Weren't
have
you doing
now?
something with women
insurance.
business or something? Women doing business or something of that nature, I think.
Well, it's not like a formal company. It's not a company, but I do a lot of women empowerment. Affiliated
workshops and stuff, because you've done some pretty amazing workshops. Mm-hmm. You've been on the panel with some pretty high-profile people.
Mm-hmm. That's funny you say that, because on the way here, I was thinking how I did the Master P panel. I was like, damn, Kela, you really did that.
But there was another one you did. Who was it with? Because I seen the flyer and I was like, oh man, was it Damon John or somebody or?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but I mean, yeah, I've had the privilege and the opportunity to, be on some amazing platforms.
Right.
I get real nervous, even to this day.
And that's funny because we've known each other, like you said, since you were 21.
Yeah.
And you always had this hesitation about speaking. And I'm like, Kela, just go for it.
I was scared to do this.
I know, but
I had to get out of my head coming here. I did.
But it's good because, hey, we got that kind of rapport. But it inspired me to see that you were speaking on panels and you were doing things in spite of your fears and hesitations. And I think that's so key in being an entrepreneur is that we have to get out of our own way.
Yes.
I don't think people we think more of ourselves than people do. I think we think people are thinking everything we're thinking and we're scared to move forward.
Exactly.
How did you move forward even with those hesitations?
Oh, you know what? To be honest, I have not. I still get that anxiety. I have to, I don't like the attention on me.
Right.
So when I'm up there, I like to put the attention back on the audience, those who are looking at me, or, the host or whoever,
Right.
I do whatever I can to try to take that attention off of me. But a wise man once said, if you're comfortable, then there's no more room for growth. But if you're uncomfortable, then there's all the room for growth. So that kind of helps me too.
Right.
And then being goofy. Like, I have to be goofy to get over the nervousness.
Hey, but if it works, and you can pull it off. See, some people just goofy and there's nothing they can do about it, but you can pull it off.
Yeah.
So, I know you've been working on some business development platforms. What is that about?
Okay, well, you know what? Oh my God. So, the salon suites. We launched that back in 2015.
And just for a second, explain maybe for somebody that doesn't know what a salon suite is, just help them out.
So universal salons, or the salon suites concept, it's basically, our facility, it's a 10,020 square foot facility.
Okay.
And we have 23 spaces that's built inside of that 10,000 square feet. So instead of people renting or working in a traditional salon atmosphere or even like a spa, they have their own business inside of one big facility, but it's still their business, their brand. And it's been very impactful in COVID-19. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. But, that's pretty much the salon suites concept. And then what was the question?
We were talking about the business development.
Yeah. Okay, so when I started that business, I wanted to, I was getting out of residential real estate. I really wasn't in it yet, but had my little one tenant. It was fine. But I'm like, I feel like I needed something more, established.
Okay.
So, a mentor or an advisor, they advised me, well, try commercial real estate. These people, they're about their business, X, Y, and Z. But when we were talking about that, we were talking about the big boys like a Copeland's or these major chains.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, I learned about the salon suites. When I learned about the salon suites concept, I'm like, okay, this is commercial real estate. Got into it, only to learn that I encountered a lot of non-business professionals. I want to try to be as nice as possible.
No, just be you.
Explaining this.
Just be you.
But so, I thought that people understood business. A lot of these beauty professionals, not so much.
Right.
So I got frustrated because they don't read leases. When times get hard, they're ready to just escape.
Right.
And I never had that mentality. It's gonna work. That's always been my mentality.
Yes,
it has to work. But people, they would just pack up overnight. I'm sure, Kim, you can relate. I'm sure you can relate. You probably witnessed it. But these people, they just, they run from a challenge.
Right.
And it just got frustrating. So, at times to the point where I wanted to shut the business down based off of the behavior and the actions of these people. But I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So I rechanneled that frustration into business development.
Right.
So we started what's called the Entrepreneurial Creatives, which is a business accelerator.
Oh, okay.
That really was started for beauty professionals. But I get most non-beauty professionals to attend the Entrepreneurial
And that
Creatives.
is, you create something for one lane, they don't see the advantage of it, and everybody else does.
Exactly. And, like for instance, the very first one, we do it at the Marquee.
Okay.
We started it in October of last year. Have not done it, of course, this year because of COVID. I think we did one like in January before we knew that COVID was COVID. But the first one, we called it Securing the International Bag. So we had a Canadian business relationship strategist call in, and she was on speaker, and we had the PowerPoint, so we could see her on the, not PowerPoint, we could see her on Skype, kind of like Skype, Zoom or whatever. And she just talked about, how we can do business and the benefits and perks of doing business with Canada. So stuff like that.
Okay.
Another one we did it was a financial panel where I had 4 financial advisors whom I've done business with all 4 of them.
Okay.
They all have different perspectives on wealth building. So, it's good stuff.
Right.
That I felt like these beauty entrepreneurs can really, really learn and have some tangible takeaways,
Right.
But yeah. So that was my lane for business development.
Okay. And so being an entrepreneur, one thing you said that is so key is you gotta have some moxie. You can't get scared in the face of adversity. I know a lot of people look at you now and be like, man, I wanna live this, or I wanna travel, I wanna this. And it's like, you can't get to where I'm at by running at the first sight of failure. Because how many times have you failed?
Countless times. I've failed more than I've succeeded, or I've failed more than I've gained.
But in the end, it made you so much better.
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I know that's right.
I will not trade it for the world. The bad ex-relationships, the ex-boyfriends.
Oh yeah.
We're
still looking for you. We know who you are. We know where you are. We're looking for you still.
Plural.
Yes.
But so shout out to them. And people who mismanaged business.
Yeah.
That I've hired or worked with who mismanaged business. Just those types of people. Those who deliberately try to throw wrenches in, your business or your life. But what's for you is for you.
That is so true. And I think one thing people got to realize is it's great to get an education. I would never knock education. But sometimes hard knocks, trial and error is the best education you'll ever get.
Absolutely.
Something books just can't teach you about shady people that look like they mean well, people that say they have your best interest at hand and don't. So the only way you can succeed, in my opinion, as an entrepreneur, you just gotta get out there and do it.
You have to, Velma said, you have to fail forward fast. I like that term. But yeah,
so cool.
It's true.
So what are you up to now? So salon suites, insurance, business development. Every time I talk to you, you got another something like, oh, that's what I just thought of. And it's what's going on in that head now?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. Because so the Georgia State Patrol, they came into the salon suites, they shut us down.
Really?
They shut us down. So I'm like, okay, oh my God, these people can't work. Rent was due tomorrow, but these people ain't gonna pay.
Right.
What the F am I gonna do?
So wait, why did they shut y'all down?
Because we were still working, and we were supposed to be quarantined.
So somebody snitched.
Somebody snitched, Well, they were still working. I was at home.
Right.
So I got a call. Well, Fulton County had came in earlier that day, and by the time I got up there, they were, leaving. They was like, well, we told them to finish up. Fulton County was cool.
Right.
We told everyone to finish up, be out today. Literally, like an hour and a half later, Georgia State Patrol came. They were not nice. They were not nice. They were so mean, but whatever. I was pacing. I got home. I was pacing back and forth in my living room. FFF.
Right.
What am I going to do? What is happening right now? And, that whole that term that became famous during the pandemic, pivot.
Right.
What are we going to do to pivot? What am I going to do? Safety is selling right now, and education.
Right.
So I started writing a business curriculum. And it's called the Universal Business Institute. And again, all of this was stemmed for beauty professionals.
Right.
But I'm like, no, most of my tribe is not beauty professionals. It is, but it's not.
Right.
There's other people who want to hear from Kela. So basically what it is, it's a universal educational platform. It's a universal business playbook. And it doesn't matter what state you're in. Mm-hmm. Kind of like what I shared with you with the business conference.
Right.
So I pretty much packaged all of that information up. All the information that I've learned over the years, I'm packaging it up.
Right.
I'm putting it into a book.
Okay.
And into a business curriculum.
That's awesome.
So, yay! And some of it is comprised of, it's an 8-module curriculum. And we have a bonus module, which is procurement and supply chain management.
Wow.
But module 1 through 8, if I can remember, I know module 1 is the business formation.
Don't give it all. Make them pay for something.
No, it's okay.
All right.
No, it's good. Because, what I'm talking about, they still got to get it to get the information. So, the business fundamentals, starting the business. Right. Getting the EIN, going to your state's, Secretary of State. So that's like module 1.
Okay, so the beginning, just things you need to do to get started.
Exactly.
I remember once you came and spoke to my youth group,
mm-hmm.
and you did part of this, and you told them, anybody starting a business, don't let me see whatever at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Get you a real business email.
Exactly. I was, there's this, she works for Fulton County Tax Commissioner's Office. She's awesome. She calls me, your taxes are due, family friend, your taxes due, you better pay them, go ahead and pay them.
Right.
So I'm like, you need to start a business because you do it, you work for Fulton County, but you call your friends and family, reminding us, I'm like, how can I help you start this business?
Right.
So just this morning, I set up her, I did her filing with the Georgia Secretary of State. Okay. So we're getting her started. We're going to get her corporate record books and all that good stuff. So I enjoy doing stuff like that.
Yes.
So
where did the entrepreneurial spirit come from? Because like I said, you always thinking of something, always on the cutting edge. Where did that come from?
It's my dad, I guess.
Okay.
My dad, his situation. I never... Like when he was facing that double life sentence, I wasn't thinking about entrepreneurship. I was comfortable. I wasn't growing. Right. I was comfortable with sitting behind that desk in Marietta at the insurance agency. And that situation made me real uncomfortable. Okay. Real uncomfortable. I remember that year, like spending Christmas by myself. I didn't care though, because I was starting that business. Right. But yeah, my dad, his situation, my boss was getting ready to fire me because I had to run back and forth to Virginia to fight his case. And she was getting ready to let me go. You know the story. Yeah. But I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like pulling out this damn resume. It's time for me to start my own business. Mm-hmm. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. I hadn't looked back. Yeah. So, as we get ready to wrap up, if you can give one piece of advice to somebody that's sitting where you were sitting, saying, I really don't want to be at this office. I'm tired of dealing with these people. They're controlling my time. I want some freedom. What would you suggest they do? Besides take your class.
You know what? One of my favorite mottos, and I got this from my first job, Penn Station, Cincinnati. Quality takes a little longer. I stole that quote, by the way. Like, it was in chalk on Kemper Road.
Right.
Quality takes a little longer. So just trust your process. Like, success does not happen overnight.
Not at all.
It's an ongoing journey. And you gotta fail. You have to fail in order to succeed.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna succeed. Like, you have to fail and be okay with failing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't think people are comfortable with failing. They feel like that one event is a lifetime. It's just one event. It's like driving. You hit one pothole, that don't stop you. You just keep driving. Keep
going. You know, you learn from that. Now you know that pothole exists.
Yeah.
So go around it.
That's it.
You know? But
lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
So how can people keep up with you? And you have to check out her website, Kela.com. The picture on the website, awesome. If I look that fabulous, that's how my website would look. But how else can they keep up with you?
Well, it's KelaTaylor.com.
Okay, so that's why we got you here, keep you straight.
And I started this Facebook page called the Millenial Mogul, where it's easier for me to post there than to upload the current events on the website. Quick links, I drop them, financial resources. I'm tied in with the Atlanta Black Chamber, the Urban League. So I get a lot of these emails every day.
Right.
When something sticks out, I take the link, copy it, paste it onto the Mogul page.
Okay.
So that's Facebook. It's Kela Taylor's.
We'll put a link below.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
So today we have Miss Kela Taylor, Millennial Mogul. You can catch her on Facebook, her website, KelaTaylor.com, and we'll post all her social as well. Anything you want to say before we part?
Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
You know what, Brent? Just, again, you know this, but just for the record, a lot of my go-getter mentality, it came from you just telling me to do it. I'm so serious.
Hey, I'm glad I can.
We go months sometimes without speaking, but when we talk, there's not enough time to get it all out or, get it all in. But thank you. I love you. And this is awesome.
I love you too, because you've been encouraging me to do this for how long? It's been some years. Mm-hmm. And finally I said, Kela, I'm going to do it. And you said, I'm gonna join you. We both bought the little ring lights and everything same time to encourage you out there. And I finally jumped out. So thank you for always believing in me and encouraging me.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank you all for tuning in to Conversations with Brent. You can follow me at BK3Mill on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. See you next episode.